This is a 2012 Mini Cooper S, and I've been playing about today fitting a new wireless charging point in the centre console to replace the one that was a bit old and rubbish. There's my beautiful wife, and it's charging. So the only problem with this little teeny armrest that I've noticed is that it doesn't quite want to go over that bit very easily. But if you just lift it a tiny fraction, it will go. And the good thing about having it open is I have heard that it does get quite hot in there. So if you leave it open like that anyway, it's not the end of the world, you get a bit of ventilation. And I generally have it all the way back anyway, so I can actually reach the handbrake and useful things like that, and the gear stick. So that was my lockdown challenge. So I've put together a few video clips to try and make it easy, because I couldn't find anyone else that has been doing anything like this, or put it on YouTube anyway. And if you're expecting one of those really slick videos with lots of people doing things one-handed, then you're going to be very disappointed. It's very amateurish, but it might give you an idea of how to do it. This cost me £60 off of eBay for that thing. And there we go. So this is what we're starting with, the replacement snap-in mini wireless charger, which is going to go into our 2012 Mini, but I think it fits most of them according to the eBay listing. So when you're dismantling the armrest bit ready to take it out, you have two bits of trim either side of the cup holder. They come off first. They're both held in by a Torx head screw on either side, and you have the cup holder as well. So they just drop off, and then the cup holder just lifts off and it just hooks around that bar. And you have two just plastic end caps that just go either side of the armrest pivot point. To get the final bit of the armrest actually off, there's two of these either side. They just slot in, and in the middle of them is a Torx screw, which will just hold it in place. So that's really simple to bring out. Undo the two screws and the whole thing lifts off, and obviously the trim's already removed at this point. Lifted up the centre console. Can definitely see that, which will go on there. Not sure what's going to happen about the blue one. And definitely on the other side, that connector that is the same. I had a bit of a worry, because to start with I could only see that, which is the wrong shape, but this was just sort of clipped underneath a little bit, so definitely looks like the same connector. So we're going to have one surplus wire by the looks of it. Wiring is undone now. Don't know how people in some other videos managed to do this one-handed. I needed both hands and a screwdriver to push the little clips in to get them undone. So now the armrest is free to come out. So armrest is now out completely, and I just need to work out how to remove that bit from in there. Worst case scenario, snip the wires, because this bit isn't going to be used again anyway. But that's all got to come out. I'm going to use a little pry tool to just try and eke it out without damaging the armrest that's going to stay. The little plastic pry tool wasn't doing anything, so in the end I've just literally stuck a file down the middle and just levered it out. Any little marks you might make are just going to be hidden anyway, all being well, underneath the new bit, and then that will now just pull out with the wiring. I'm not sure how I'm going to feed the new stuff around the back yet. That's going to be fiddly. The slide cover, which normally goes somewhere like there, has to be removed. So to do that, I just squeezed these bits in, and that then allows it to pop off. That then reveals another Torx screw, which will allow this little back piece to come off. And then I'll be able to get to the wires again, and then it should be nice and easy to feed the wires through. I just hope I can get all this back together again. And there's the old one. So just to make it easy, I've just literally snip the wires off just to pull it all out because it's all broken and gash anyway. It's just going to go in the bin. I'm going to keep these bits as well because these look quite handy. So they've just got a little bit of tape going around, and then that will be able to be pulled out, and that's going to clip it in place back on the car near at the base of the armrest. So it's just taped on either side, and there's one on each side. Here's a bit I might actually be able to do one-handed. So I've put the connector in, and hopefully it will just make a nice, satisfying clunk sound. Effortless. And I've just got to route the wires down the back now. So it's worth doing a little quick test before you put everything back together, because I did read about someone that had done it and it didn't work after, and it is a real faff getting to it all, so I would definitely check it before you're doing it. Of course I can't put my phone in and do it, but the little blue light does light up. So it's all tested, armrest is back in position, so I just need to now tidy up the wiring, put those two little plastic bits on that hold the wire in place. I don't think these wires that came with the adapter are as long, so that pink connector at the end there isn't going to quite sit in as nicely as it should do, and this one is especially short. It's not, the connector is not going to attach back into the original position. I've had to remove some of this tape a bit further down the wire to allow it to come a little bit further back. Otherwise, every time you move the armrest up and down, it's going to stretch the wire and undo the connection. Exciting bit, just testing it out. I've worked out how to work out if it's working and video it. I borrowed someone else's phone. So mine is an iPhone 8. Let's see if it works. Yay! Now the only thing is, I have been looking at other iPhones, like the later ones, and they seem to be growing. There isn't a lot of room either side there. So my wife's phone that I'm holding now is an 8 Plus, and it is literally no chance of fitting in there. So there could be a drawback to this.